Welcome to another edition of Anytime Touchdown, brought to you by thehammer.bet. Highly recommend that you check out thehammer.bet for all, especially your NFL betting needs, whether you're super serious, whether you're casual, and you want some entertainment. We got you covered at thehammer.bet. Jason, you're back, and we're going to be talking anytime touchdowns. I did well last week with my one lock of Antonio Gibson, but I need to do better this week is all I'm saying.
Yeah, week one, it's real hit or miss. You never know what's gonna pop up. Horvath on San Diego is the current king of touchdowns. If you bet him first touchdown or anything, you've made a ton of money.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, so good through 2 weeks with him. His touchdown to catch rate is absolutely off the charts.
Yeah, you never know where some of these early wins are going to come from. I didn't have it, but never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, you mentioned last week, if you don't like the deflated rookie of the year odds, go attack some of these rookies and maybe they have a giant week one. And I think we covered all of them besides Dotson.
Yeah, I think I mentioned every rookie, first, second, third round pick, fourth round pick by name, except Jahan Dotson. If you did bet him, probably paid 28, I want to say to 1, 28, 30 to 1 was probably widely available for him to score 2 touchdowns, which is way higher now than his offensive rookie of the year odds, where he's probably about 9 to 1, 10 to 1, 12 to 1. One game though, I don't think wouldn't take too much from any of that.
All right, well, let's start it off. Are we going to the top of the board? We going long shot first? What do you want to do?
We can go with some long shots first. You want to start with the long shots?
Yeah, so I am going to go. After watching that Giants game, they have absolutely no offense. So we got to think, Saquon Barkley's not going to score every touchdown that they have. Sterling Shepard is very rarely going to be 80 yards behind the defense to just walk into the end zone. So I was actually looking at a guy who ran a bunch of snaps, someone from team preseason on DraftKings that I used to love to use. Tanner Hudson for the Giants is 11 to 1 to score a touchdown against the Panthers. I just think that having anybody in the red zone and goal line packages for the Giants right now is absolutely live to get a touchdown. And 11 to 1 was the best odds I could find. That's at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Like you said, someone's got to score, and if they're in the red zone packages, then they're on the field and the most opportunities to score. Similar, I like New York Jets, guy who was surprisingly active last week. I wasn't necessarily expected him to be active week one, but I had my eye on him. Lawrence Cager, big rookie tight end. He only played 10 snaps. That was about 12% of the offensive snaps for the Jets last week, but he was active. That's a big step towards, catching a touchdown pass. So 25 to 1 on him. I think that's a DraftKings big price there too.
Yeah, I think those are, that's an excellent price, 25 to 1. So a 25 to 1 and 11 to 1, you parlay those together, you're a millionaire, but they're probably not both going to hit. And the thing about playing these long shot touchdown props is, obviously, you don't need to win every single week. You just need to win one every 10 weeks and you're going to be good to go.
Yeah, it always helps to win the long shots early, get a little bit of a bankroll there. But you never know what's going to happen. I've seen some crazy stuff happen. It's just the unpredictability of this. You just got to play the best numbers.
So I had 4 in the mid range, from 4 to 1 all the way up to 6 to 1. And where I was looking was trying to exploit injuries for one thing, and maybe some players that ran a lot of routes, saw a lot of targets last week, yet just did absolutely nothing with them. That's why I'm going to go back to Isaiah Likely, who, he ended up with 4 targets in that game. He was on the field a ton. It was just Duvernay who ended up with the 2 touchdowns. He's plus 375 right now to score against the Dolphins. And with the way that the Dolphins are constructed, you think they have a very good front 7, and you have Xavier Howard on one side, and you're going to have Byron Jones on the other. Byron Jones obviously not as good as Xavier Howard, but it's the middle of the field where you really want to get after the Dolphins. And yes, we know that Mark Andrews is going to be out on the field, and he's going to have a lot of attention. But Isaiah Likely is going to be manning the other tight end slot, the other tight end spot, or just the slot in general. 4 targets last week, ran a ton of routes. I think that he could get himself active in this game over the middle of the field, whether it be from 30 yards out, from 5 yards out. That's when we're going to see him on the field. So it's a nice rebound spot for someone that a lot of people liked in the preseason. So I like Isaiah Likely. You went to the Jets. I actually think that Braxton Berrios was far more involved than I ever expected him to be with Joe Flacco. He's 5-1 right now to score against the Browns for the New York Jets. And then you have the situation developing with Michael Pittman. We don't know whether or not he's going to play this week, but the odds have not adjusted. The odds on DraftKings Sportsbook have Michael Pittman as playing at the moment. So you have Ashton Dulin at plus 450 and Alec Pierce at plus 550. Now, Alec Pierce also on the injury report right now, but
I like Mo Alley Cox there. He's plus 370 to score an anytime touchdown on DraftKings. That's a pretty good price, like you said. If Pittman's out, they're going to have to throw the ball to someone, and he is a big target in the red zone, and they've had success with him before. Another tight end I like, Hunter Henry, played 77% of the snaps last week for the Patriots. Favorite target of Mac Jones, assuming that he's going to be playing and relatively healthy. He only got 3 targets last week, but I do expect that to pick up as the season goes on.
Any more anytime touchdown props that you like? Because I'm out of them. This is where I'm sticking with.
Yeah, I got a bunch more. Of course.
Okay, let's hear it.
George Pickens again, plus 390. Played 71% of the Steelers' offensive snaps. I still like him a lot. Kyle Pitts plus 210. Marcus Mariota plus 240. And London. What's the new dude?
Drake London is
Drake
there
London,
as well,
yeah. Plus 285. I like all 3 of those. I'm going to that game. I think it's going to be much closer than 10.5 points. I think that's a huge spread for a Rams team that was a little disappointing the first week of the season. In the 49ers game, I like Kyle Juszczyk plus 850 anytime. The fullback, he only played 37% of the snaps week 1, but I expect slightly more usage out of him this weekend, especially if the weather reports are accurate. I also like the Seahawks defense special teams touchdown in this game, 8-1, and the 49ers defense special teams touchdown in this game, 5-1. I have not looked at the possibility of parlaying those in the same game parlay, but I bet that would pay a lot. Might be worth looking into, especially this game. If you like a Juszczyk touchdown with the defense and special teams touchdowns, I bet that would pay a lot of money. I might have to look into that myself after that. Then the Cowboys game got Troy Pollard plus 330. He was on the field for only 55% of the snaps week 1. Little bit of a disappointing game everywhere for the Cowboys, but I think this week the spread's just gotten out of control. It's like 7 points. He only had seven carries, 2 receptions. I think he'll get some more work this weekend. The Cowboys defense special teams, I got that at plus 750. That includes Kevontae Turpin. I talked about him last week. All the bad things about the Cowboys. Turpin is leading the NFL in kick and punt return yards after 1 week, for whatever that's worth. Turpin's also 25-1 to score a touchdown. I think he was only involved in the offense for 1 or 2 plays. So still waiting for that offensive opportunity, but I do like him to score a kick return or punt return at 25-1 still. And I'm excited to play around with the single game parlay stuff now that I've thrown out some big numbers there.
Yeah, the only 2 that I'll add is Foster Moreau on the Raiders did play around 35% of the snaps. We know that in the red zone previous to Josh McDaniels getting there, that Derek Carr did enjoy targeting himself some Foster Moreau. Now, maybe because Devontae Adams is there, and for whatever reason, once you get inside the 5-yard line, he's impossible to cover, that he's just going to score all these goal line touchdowns, but Moreau is always in those packages as well. People just think Waller, but Moreau ends up with like 3-4 a year, and going off at 7-1 isn't a terrible number. The other one was from that, you kind of jarred it in my memory about the Seahawks and 49ers game, is we don't know what the backfield is going to look like for the 49ers this week. It's going to be what we expect to be a lot of Jeff Wilson, a lot of Tyrion Davis-Price at running back. Obviously, Debo and Trey Lance are going to get their rushes as well, but they have promoted Jordan Mason to be a part of this rotation as well, and they've already said, at least Kyle Shanahan did, that they're going to ride the hot hand in this circumstance. And right now, you can still grab Mason at 10-1 for an anytime touchdown. Like, there's a world where he's the guy who ends up with the most carries on the 49ers.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I had two more to add real quick. Demetric Felton again, 13-1. He didn't get a ton of playing time week 1, but I think that number is still pretty reasonable for his skill set. And then there's actually 2 other ones that there's no odds up yet for either of these for me to bet them, but I'm interested. Taysom Hill, anytime. I think they still find ways to get him involved in the offense, especially against a banged up Bucs team. And then Cooper Kupp, I saw he's minus 205 at DraftKings. He'll be matched up against AJ Terrell, one of the better cornerbacks in the NFL. I'll be looking for a no touchdown price on Cooper Kupp, knowing that I'll be able to get a pretty big plus money price for the matchup. Happy to, fade it at plus money. We don't talk about taking no touchdown very, very often, but in this case, I think, a minus 205 on a wide receiver, it's probably as good a time as any to take the no.
Well, either DraftKings Sportsbook is listening into us in real time, or Michael Pittman's taking a turn for the worse in terms of his availability, because I had the bet slip open on DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, all of a sudden, Ashton Dulin down to plus 320 to score an anytime touchdown. Alec Pierce is now completely off the board.
Oh, so yeah, I saw something. I saw it move. I saw something move. I didn't see what it was, but you can see when the screen moves.
So I assume Mo Alley Cox is down now as well.
Yeah, let's see. I can pull that up real quick. Yeah, 340. I think he went with, what was he before? 370, or was it still 340?
I thought he was 450.
No, I saw 340 earlier, I think.
Okay, so he's fine.
But yeah, I see I don't know, Taylor 175, Pittman 105. Christian Kirk plus 175. I like that. I like Christian Kirk every week. Just keep forgetting to talk about him.